The family is shocked by Jana Duggar's sudden breakdown. There is a threat to the lives of the quiet caregivers. What happened if the person in the room with the most strength, the person who finally breaks down, is the one who never moans, stumbles, or asks for help? This is exactly what happened to Jana Duggar. The most important part of a home built on rules and religion, a calm afternoon turned into a hectic medical situation very quickly, leaving her family and friends scared and desperately looking for answers. This is a story that should wake up a family and all of us to the power that we often don't see. It's not just about health. What caused her to fall? Could it have been avoided? How is her family dealing with the fact that their rock needs help? Stay with us, because what happened in the Duggar house will change the way you think about strength, responsibility, and how heavy it is to be the strong one. This isn't just a story from a book. This is a story about people, and more needs to be done. People who are close to Jana Duggar are shocked, scared, and panicked about the sudden danger she is in. The quiet and calm member of a well-known conservative family, a lot of people call John the strong one. Calm in public, collected when things go wrong, and always seen as the person who handles problems without complaining, but recent events have completely changed how people see things. Even people who were there at the time couldn't say anything about the tragic events that happened so quickly and almost turned into a full-on tragedy. The plan was for a calm afternoon, like any other day in the yard, which Jana likes and finds peaceful. She has long found comfort in nature and often talks about how planting, trimming, and clearing the land calms her down. Things quickly went from being normal that day to something that tested her family's mental strength in every way. A sudden medical emergency as she fell, out of breath, her safe haven turned into a crisis area. The air around her stopped moving. The next few seconds were a mess. A cry for help from a sibling, a friend rushed in when they heard the noise. Someone in the family calling 911 while shaking hands. In just a few minutes, Jana was being taken to the hospital. Her heart rate was low and her breathing was irregular. After spending most of her adult life taking care of others, seeing a woman in such a dangerous position seemed strange. The Duggar family thought it was even scarier because nothing was ever certain. There had been no signs of sickness or exhaustion or warnings before. The plans for a project that made Jana very happy made her laugh a lot at lunch a few hours ago. She was full of life and happiness, and her face lit up. Really shocking to everyone was how different the morning was from the afternoon, which was scary. The emergency room doctors moved quickly. The monitors beeped quickly as the 4 lines were hooked up. Careful attention was paid to vital signs. For the first few hours, there were still no answers. Was it a brain or heart event, or was it something long-term that hadn't been found for too long? The stress was made worse by the lack of understanding. Soon after, Bob and Michelle went to the hospital and kneeled together in silent prayer while they waited for news. Anyone who knows how the Dugg family is seen in public will find it hard to believe that John is at the center of such a big problem. She was a quiet force of nature because she took care of her younger brothers, especially during the years when family life was shown on TV. She was having a hard time and needed medical help and care. This made her family and fans who had watched her from childhood to adulthood very sad. She has been shown for a long time as the responsible daughter who deals chaos with shame and doesn't ask for help very often. Because of the situation, her siblings showed an unusually high amount of pure vulnerability. A brother who is usually very calm was seen pacing the hallway outside the hospital room with his eyes cloudy and his teeth clenched. One sister couldn't stay still, so she grabbed a blanket. There was quiet in the middle of all this. The kind of quiet that surrounds families during their worst times, when they can't say anything and are only scared of each other. At first, Jenna's family wanted to keep quiet so they could focus on her care and healing, but within hours, word got out about the terrible event. But by the next morning, word of what was really going on began to spread around town. This led to a wave of support from family, friends, neighbors, and even people who had previously disagreed with the family. There were a lot of posts on social media. Words of surprise, support, and prayer behind the scenes. Doctors kept looking into things. Brain scans, heart and lung imaging, and blood screens were some of the tests that were done. Even though the cause wasn't found right away, it was clear that Jana was still weak, even though her health had gotten better. She was awake and puzzled, but it was clear that she was weak. She spoke with a weak voice. Her thoughts were all over the place. But her mother put her hand on hers and said, "We're here." A tear ran down her cheek, a drop of fear, thanks, and respect all in one. After that, my feelings went up and down like a roller coaster. The family took turns being with her. People who were holding the phone felt a jolt every time it rang, and they ate while they were on the go. Everything was planned by her closest brothers, including prayer circles and medication reminders. One even gave her a small bouquet of flowers that Jana had planted herself and were now growing. This was done to comfort their caretaker, it seemed. It is said that Jana told her sister in a low voice, "I don't remember falling," during one of the most emotional times. It was an interesting response because it showed both the truth and how confused she was. Strong people can suddenly fall down, and those who have always depended on them need to get strong enough to catch them. In the end, medical professionals were called in to do more tests. Among the ideas were a sudden drop in blood pressure, a nerve condition called syncope, and even stress-related changes in the body. Even though tests didn't show any major structural damage, doctors told the patient to be closely watched, make changes to their lifestyle, and rest a lot for the immediate future. Jana was once the source of life in the house, but she had to learn to rest and take breaks so that other people could take care of her. The terrible event made the whole family and their wider group of friends and supporters think about it. A family member is said to have said, "Maybe this is God's way of reminding us that Jana isn't just the strong one, she's human too," in a private moment shared through a close friend. More importantly, how often had she ignored Jonah's needs while her own were put aside because she had so much to do? How long had she been tired of being quiet? What you said hit a nerve. The family talked differently after that. Younger peers were encouraged to take the lead and check in more often so they could listen. Jana was let out of jail at the end of the week, but she was still weak. She was taken home when her family watched over her. In the evenings, a nurse was planned. After a home health expert made a recovery plan, her room, which had always been simple and useful, was now full of cards, messages, and small comforts from her caretakers. It's likely that the effects of that day will last a very long time, even after the most dangerous part of the experience is over. It waked up the Duggar family about health and about how important it is to see the unseen, respect those who carry heavy loads in silence, and most of all, love the people we take for granted. Vuolo will have to go through a long process to get better, but the way will be filled with love. When she is put to the test, her determination never wavers. No longer is she carrying the load by herself, even though she doesn't know what the future holds. Her family is different now, but it may also be better now. We've learned that even the strongest people need to rest, that even the smallest pleas should be heard, and that even the calmest hearts can break. The love that comes with getting better is more important than the fall. Thank you for watching. Please remember to join our channel so that you can see the next video.